Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of All This Science, the entertaining science podcast that discusses one science concept in 5 minutes or less, because that's my entire attention span. I'm Dr. C, the host of All This Science, and I want to tell you, this is raw and unedited, edgy and wild. Anything goes. If you want a specific topic explained, send me an email, allthisscience@gmail.com, or tweet me at allthisscience. And if you want to listen to previous podcasts of the show, visit bit.ly/allthisscience. Subscribe as well. Why not? I'd like to thank my sponsors, the Gates Foundation, Elon Musk, the National Science Foundation. I'd like to, but I can't since I don't have any sponsors yet. Not even Stamps.com. I'm new. Relax. It'll happen. Or it won't. So I ended episode 1 telling you that a cloud was fluffy, not stuffy. But you wanted more. You want it darker, as Leonard Cohen would say. So, here we go. The Oxford Dictionary says a cloud is a visible mass of condensed watery vapor floating in the atmosphere, typically high above the general level of the ground. Sounds like a valedictorian speech, but it's a pretty good definition. We have the sun in the morning and the moon at night. And the sun emits visible ultraviolet and infrared radiation. It is that infrared radiation, also known as heat, which is absorbed by the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, the streams, the jacuzzis, and the water molecules on the surface of these layers break free as they absorb that radiation and enter the vapor state from the liquid state. The water vapor molecules, those H2O molecules, then move all over the place, including up, owing to the thermal currents. The air pressure is lower as the altitude increases, and naturally there is a flow from high pressure to low pressure. The main component of air, nitrogen, and the second most important component, oxygen, are both around 1.5 times heavier than water. Hot air is also less dense than cold air, so all these factors work together to get the water vapor rising up from the water surface. Like Elphaba in Wicked, the water vapor is defying gravity. I like to throw on Broadway musicals from time to time because they're cool. Now, as an aside, to impress your friends, always say oxygen and nitrogen gas and water vapor. Don't mix them up. The reason is at room temperature, scientists have defined that as 25 degrees Celsius, oxygen and nitrogen are already gases, but water is just a liquid. It's not a gas yet at room pressure, which is around 1 bar. So that's the distinction. The more you know, eh? So, we've got these water molecules partying with oxygen and nitrogen, and they're getting high, way above the atmosphere, way up in the atmosphere, the troposphere to be exact. There is less air pressure as the altitude increases. Temperature also decreases. So what starts to happen is that the water vapor now condenses, the opposite of evaporation being condensation, and little droplets of water form around specks of dust or smoke. Those are called condensation nuclei. The suspension of the droplets in the moist air creates the cloud. And once weather conditions are such that the droplets coalesce, that they join together, bigger droplets form and eventually gravity wins out over the thermal convection and precipitation happens. Rain, snow. Here in Winnipeg, we get lots of snow. Now the cloud's white because the incoming visible electromagnetic radiation of the sun is scattered all over by the aerosol, that is the cloud, the suspension of the water droplets in the cloud. And that scattering wavelengths all add up together and we get back to white light. Okay? Lots of neat shapes for clouds. You can look at pictures of them, like cumulonimbus, which is anvil-shaped. Cirrus is wispy-shaped. And then there's Simpsonus, which looks a lot like Homer Simpson. That's the end for today. Thank you all.